From the moment we learn to walk, we begin to realize the potential of every step.
There it is, there it is.
We visualize that moment, we internalize that desire, and we mobilize our bodies to take hold of that potential. I know what you may be thinking. What's so incredible about a step? Without steps, we are stuck, paralyzed, crippled by fear, by complacency, by numbness, by the tyranny of the present. Without steps, our muscles become stagnant and our minds become weak. We were created to move. Every time we signal the muscles in our legs to take action, we reject the inertia of insignificance and take hold of our God-given purpose. We were created to make change. When we take steps, the people in our lives are impacted by the momentum. Our next steps enable others to take theirs. So we move as to make change in their lives as well. But there's a war that rages against every step. It's not a war fought with weapons or with fists. It's not a war for money or power. It's a war for our very souls. A war to keep us paralyzed instead of passionately pursuing our purpose. It's a war that fights to keep us comfortable, stationary, and off of our feet because our next steps are a threat to the ways of this world. One step taken at just the right time can change the world forever, but we have an enemy who wants us out of the battle and obsessed with ourselves. This enemy lies to us, and he tells us that we don't have it in us to make a difference. He wants us to put our feet up, sit back, and relax and watch him win the war. But we won't quit moving. So many people spend their lives completely immobilized by the American dream. They use their God-given steps to run away from the battle instead of into it. But we were made to sweat, to push, to feel our hearts beating out of our chests as we run towards something greater than ourselves. We were made to pursue past the breaking point, toward a victory and glory more wonderful than any of us can imagine. We live in a state of spiritual and physical darkness. Depression, divorce, division wreak havoc on our communities. We're surrounded by people who have never known the joy of pursuing something greater for themselves. We live in a world motivated by money and personal success rather than the betterment of our fellow man. We were never meant to sit back and watch people destroy themselves. We are here to sacrifice, to give of ourselves, and to lay down our lives like Christ laid down his. For us to be the hands and feet of Jesus, we must begin to move our feet and take steps toward becoming more loving, more forgiving, more gracious, more compassionate, more giving, and more merciful. Our muscles will burn. Sometimes we may want to turn back, but we won't stop. Self-sacrifice isn't an idea or an abstract thought. It's a vision for God's church today. So we stretch out our stride and pick up the pace with clear eyes and hearts full of the love of God. What we have is not ours. What we are is not a product of our own will. But we have all been purchased, bought with a price, and assigned infinite value by the infinite one who valued us enough to die. This God is all-loving, completely forgiving, unwavering, unstoppable, uncomparable. This God gives us the power and the heart of a fighter to wage an all-out war against complacency and greed. This is our next step.